Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my channel again, or if you're new, welcome. This episode is going to be another For You Friday, and this week we're going to go over what costs a seller can expect to have when listing your home. Alright guys, I just want to start off and say that if you hear any crackling or popping, I am in my living room today because my office is a disaster after I hosted a baby shower this weekend. Anyways, it is 50 degrees currently here in Meridian, and so I am freezing, but I didn't think this through that you will be able to hear the fire the whole time. Anyway, so that is what that is if you hear that. Anyway, so let's just jump right in. Let's talk about before we list or before we put your house on the market, what are some costs that you might think of to pay before we even put your house on the market. So first off, we want to make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck and that you are going to be netting as much as possible. So what we want to do is get your home market ready. So we want to make sure it's very neutral, very uncluttered, very clean and stuff like that. So what we like to say is that you're going to pre-move. So whatever you don't need on like a daily basis, pack it up. Put it in some boxes, put it in the garage, or put it in a storage shed, or put it in your closet, just so that way when people walk through, it's going to feel bigger and airier and brighter, and they can really picture themselves there. But a cost associated with that is that you want to make everything neutral. So if you can, paint. So if you have any not neutral colors in your house, like wall colors, if that kid really wanted that bright pink room, this would be the time to go back and either paint it yourself or pay someone else to come in. And it's also good to like buff up any spots that maybe has chipping paint or you rubbed against and it has a scratch in it or something like that. But the cost associated with that is either the cost of the paint and you doing it yourself, or having someone else come in and do it for you. Just depends on your budget and your time and everything like that. Another important thing is to make sure that your house is clean. I know that our market's a little crazy right now and inventory is low, but if you really want to get the most for your house, I would definitely recommend cleaning it. And maybe if you don't have the time for that, hire someone to do it, to come in and just do that basic cleaning and get your carpets clean and stuff like that. All right, so let's say we've listed your house. You don't have to worry if you have a good agent representing you. The cost of marketing or anything like that, they will cover it. They will cover the cost of having a professional photographer come in and take the pictures and everything. But let's say you get under contract. And what are some costs that you can expect throughout the process? Like I talked in my For You for buyers, you could expect to pay for the appraisal, the inspection and stuff like that. It's a little different now. As the seller, you have a little more power, and if they want to have an inspection, that's on them. If they have to have an appraisal for the lender, that's on the buyer. So what you can maybe have to bring up before the closing table is if you do have inspections and you have, I don't know, mold or something and you need to remediate it or something like that. There's definitely different options in the different markets. So right now it's a seller's market, so there's not really a whole lot of things being requested on inspections if there are any inspections done on the house currently. But definitely health and safety issues, like I said, mold or the roof's leaking or something. You might not have to replace the whole roof, but fixing that leak or something like that. So that could be an out-of-pocket expense before you go to the closing table. You also might just agree on lowering the purchase price or something like that, or maybe you'll cover closing costs for the buyers. So yeah, after that, let's just say we come to the closing table, and what can you expect that you're going to have to pay for out of pocket? So first off, you're going to have to pay off any mortgages or any liens that you might have on the property. So any HELOCs, so home equity lines of credit, if you took out a second mortgage on your house, if you took out any liens to get the house repaired but you haven't paid it off yet, or solar is huge right now. Some people are getting loans to get solar on their house, but that does have to be paid off before the buyers take over, because essentially they would have to get a new loan for the solar and everything like that. So it's just easier and it's better and it gives you more value if it's paid off at closing. So any liens like that, and that comes to what you are expected to pay for is a standard title insurance, which is basically saying that I am bringing a clean and clear title to the closing table. So this is when title, they just pull all their records, and if they find any liens, they could even find child support or medical liens, anything that is placed on your house, that it will be paid through closing. So your proceeds will have to go to pay those off. So if you thought that you could get away with not paying for any contractors or subcontractors coming out and doing some work on your house, think not. But yeah, so any liens on your property, you're going to have to pay through closing. If it's just your mortgage, great. Or if it's just your mortgage and a HELOC, awesome. Those are very standard things to pay off. And then after that, you pay for the standard insurance title, which depends on the house and stuff like that. But usually I've seen like $1,000 to $1,500 for that. If the buyers do want like an extended insurance policy, that's usually on them to cover, so you don't have to worry about that. And then the rest is your closing escrow fees, or you and the buyer do split the escrow fees, at least in my state and how we do it here. But what that means is the doc fees, the title, the transfer, escrow fees, all of that is split 50-50 for you guys, and that's considered the closing costs. You can also expect, depending on the time of the year, you may be reimbursed for some HOA fees that you've already paid. Say you pay annually or something like that. You get reimbursed that cost up to that date. Prorate. They prorate it. That's what I was thinking. So say that you paid till the end of the year, but you only live there for half the year. They prorate that additional half of the year to you. Same with taxes. They base it off of past taxes. You might pay for the taxes and you might get a credit back later, kind of stuff like that, because it's based off of last year's taxes. And so this year, and I mean, honestly, we all know that taxes usually go up. So they just have to base it for the buyer. They prorate taxes up to the time that you were in the house and stuff like that. And they credit it to the buyer. So that could be a cost that you have to accrue. And then, so I said HOA fees or dues. One of those words. And then your taxes and any other utilities like irrigation, that can be prorated and that can cost you. And then, realtor dues, the commissions. So it's different in every state, and there's no standard across any state really. So the percentage, what we see a lot here is 6% of the sale of your price is the commission, and it pays for the buyer and the seller's agent. And I know, guys, it sounds like a lot, but do you want to be trying to finagle all of these contracts and paperwork, and do you really know what you're doing? Or what if inspections? You had an inspection when you bought your house, so you probably think it's normal. So, and it is normal, but what I mean is that you can have it right now. A lot of people are either waiving their inspections or they're saying, we'll take it as is, we're just doing it as, so that way for peace of mind kind of thing like that. So that just means that they can't really come ask you for requests. But since you asked for requests on yours, maybe you think that that's normal. And I'm just saying, people, we're trying to protect you. And like I said, we're going to help you as much as we can getting your house ready. We're going to take the photos. We're going to do the marketing, all of that. And we're going to help you sift through the offers right now. I mean, if you get 20 offers, how are you going to know what's best? Like, we see offers every day. We know the difference between VA, FHA, IFHA, conventional, cash. Like, we can explain these offers to you and make sure which one is best for you and that we know is going to close. Because let me tell you, some offers are made that are not going to close, and you can see that from the beginning. But anyways, so commissions, just to make sure that you're protected and that the buyers are protected. Like, it's normal. And then think about it. When you go to buy your next house, you don't have to pay those dues. So it works out. And I obviously am an advocate for a realtor because I think that this is our job, we know what we're doing, and we need to be there to protect you. If nothing else, I think that is worth our dues. Another option is that you could provide a home warranty. I also put this on my buyers for you. If you are worried about waiving inspections, I recommend that buyers might buy a home warranty to cover all of those major systems that might fail. Anything could fail, even on a brand new house, okay? So anything that could fail in that first year, it's always good to maybe purchase a home warranty just for your peace of mind. But I recommend the same thing for a seller. Like, maybe offer it. Be like, hey, if we're not doing inspections, I'll pay up to $500 for you to get a home warranty. I think there's a lot going on, and maybe this is just my opinion right now, that I get it, you want to sell whatever it is, whether it's a car, your house, a good service that you provide at top dollar. I get that. You want to get the most out of anything. But you also have to remember, like, we're all people, and what I just think about right now, when I bought my first house, I couldn't cover closing costs. And so the seller actually covered my closing costs and stuff like that, and that was how I got my first house. So I think we all just need to remember that we're all just trying to do the best that we can, and offering a home warranty, I just think, is a good act of being a good human, I guess, especially if they're not getting a home inspection. Obviously not a requirement, it's just something that I thought may be an out-of-pocket expense for a seller. Anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. There may be other things that I'm forgetting about, but maybe I'll let you know later. I don't know, but let me know if you have any questions, and I appreciate you sticking around for my For You Friday for sellers out-of-pocket expense. And if you have any questions, or if you heard about any other fees, let me know, and I would love to address those. Also, my next For You page, I'm actually going to go over an inspection report and kind of go over what's common, what's not common, so that way when you go to buy your house, and if you're just doing that inspection for peace of mind, you can see what's like common. Like, I know it's all scary. All inspection reports are scary. I don't care if it's a brand new house or not, it's all scary. So I want to go over an inspection report with you and kind of go over what is normal and common, what to be expected, and some solutions to that. So if you want to learn more about that and you're about to buy a house and want to learn about inspections, tune in for my next For You Friday. But other than that, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.